Hello guys, welcome back to another edition of How to Draw Comics. So last time we went over basically the flats and the colors and stuff like that. So when you're doing with your flats, you're just adding in the basic colors of their outfit. For example, the red here, the blue and yellow here, the orange in the shorts, the jacket, and of course the skin color. Skin color is really basic. I use a skin color code chart that's on Google. You can Google skin color code and get sorry, I'm just waking up and getting basically the information to get the code for the skin color. So that's very useful with that. So today I'm going to show you guys real quick the depths and highlights, which is very important when it comes to comics because light is a very important aspect to kind of give your comics and your pages that realism that it needs to kind of get the art going. So, I mean, the biggest thing in comic books is that you're illustrating a story with pictures, and you want the art and the pictures to look as real as possible. I mean, not real in the sense of like photographs of actual real life places, but to see if everything in the scene makes sense in terms of light, depth, and stuff like that. So I added two new layers, one right here called depth, the other one called highlights. Highlight has a different mode. It's addition instead of multiply because it's adding more light to it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these on just to kind of give you guys, show you guys what it is that light and depth does. So that's the depth layer, as you can see, and then we're going to add the highlights. So I'm just going to go into each of these really quick. So depth is basically like this shadowing on the face. Like you want to add some depth to it to give it that three-dimensional kind of look to it and to let your audience know, yo, where's the light coming from? And it's really important that you understand that you know how light works and how it rests upon certain things. So for example, this is real simple. You can look online and look for a face shading reference and just kind of do what I did. That's what I did. I'm still learning face shading, but for the most part, looks good to me. And of course, in this lab, we have different light sources. You can't see them yet because I haven't put them in, but you'll know once I'm done with the effects, which will be my next video. And right here with the coat and jacket and stuff like that, you can see the light is coming in from this direction, and there's light coming down from above, there's light coming in from this direction. So it all depends on where you want your light source to come from. And it's very important that you do have a light source so all the lighting and stuff is very consistent with everything, alright? So going up, I had to change this. I used a gradient instead and made these little columns gold because these are cylinders and light reflects differently on cylinders, and you got to keep that in mind. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you want to keep that in mind that light bounces differently off metal and cylinders. Of course, you have the freedom to kind of tell your audience what this material is, but for mine, these things were cylinders and they needed to be treated as such. All right. So same character that's up here, he's down here, and the light's coming from this direction. Same and same right here. So it's very important that you guys keep your light sources consistent. This one is different because he's wearing a hood, so the light is only going to show the bottom part. I mean, if you look at people wearing hoods, you can kind of see why that's so important. All right. So that is the light. Same right here, as you see, we want the light source to be down here. That's why a majority of his back and his face is shaded. Alright, and you can always take pieces of the shading out to give it more of a realistic look and stuff like that. So highlights are a bit different though. Highlights kind of gives a little bit more of a shine to parts of the body. So for example, this character right here, since she's wearing what seems to be a leather suit, I had to add in these highlights right here to kind of give it that leathery kind of effect. Alright, so that's only with her, and of course with this character right here, they're wearing a leather suit, so it's very, very, very important that you add in those light portions because it's one of those things. And it's the same thing that I used to do with everything, just use the selection tools, select, and then go to edit and add in foreground color or background color, whatever color you have. But make sure with the highlights that you do have your addition mode on for that particular layer. Alright. Skin, though, with all people who have skin, you always are going to get that reflective gloss. Like if you ever seen someone with like a bald head and it's super shiny, that's where that highlight stuff comes in. So you kind of want to just do it along the edge of their skin to kind of get that effect. Like right here on the leg and stuff like that. And you don't want to go too balls to the walls with it. You just want to make it very subtle, but if you were to look hard enough, you'd be like, oh wow, he has like little light on his skin. I mean, skin is a very reflective property, if you didn't know, so you want to keep that going. Same here with the leather in his shirt and stuff like that. I didn't throw any highlights on him because there's nowhere where I would really use a highlight. Maybe along the chin, thinking about it now. I'll have to look into that, but yeah. And everything else, so the depth and highlights are important. This is where you start bringing in all of your artistic aptitude when it comes down to this. Comics are very important when it comes down to anything that requires light and depth, and it's very important that you do, because otherwise your artwork would just look flat and it's not very eye popping. Okay, we're gonna get into bigger scenes later. This is just a scene in the lab. It's taken me a long time to do it because I haven't really decided what I'm going to do in terms of effects. I do need to still draw the power lines, that's a must, but I think I'm going to do that today and show you guys in the coming weeks the power lines and stuff. But there's still a lot of things that need to be edited and done with this particular page, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. So that's pretty much it. I hope this video helps. I'm not going to go in depth with showing you guys how to do it because my video recorder isn't up to par. It just stops recording as I'm drawing, so I'm not going to get into that frustration right now. But I hope you guys are liking these videos. I hope they're helping. So if you guys have any questions, follow me on Twitter at heroic studios _ heroic _ studios, and leave me a comment on this video. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be sure to answer them in my next video. So have a great day. Bye bye.